If you ask anyone in the sprinting community who Yohan Blake is, they'll know who you're talking about. He's fast, determined, and competitive. He's trained hard to get where he is now, but those aren't the reasons why sprinters are afraid to go against him. Here's the real reason sprinters are scared of Yohan Blake. In 1989, Yohan Blake was born in St. James, Jamaica. At a young age, Blake became involved with sports and athletics. However, he did not get involved in sprinting right away. He got his start in another sport. That was cricket. When he attended St. Jago High School, the young athlete was an avid cricket player. He excelled in different aspects of the game, but his coaches noticed that he was a fast runner. This led to his coaches recommending that he try out sprinting. With time and practice, the young athlete excelled at the sport. He had a natural inclination towards the sport and quickly exceeded expectations. At the age of 16, Blake ran the 100-meter and set the fastest time by a junior in Jamaican sprinting history. His record time was 10.11 seconds. That record got him noticed in the track and field world. Not long after that, Yohan came under the Glenn Mills wing. Mills is well known for being the man who coaches and trains Usain Bolt. Under new coaching and guidance, Blake only got better at the sport, shaving seconds off his times. In 2010, the athlete ran the same event with an even faster 9.93 second time. That established him as an up-and-coming contender in the sport and on the world stage. Since then, he's continued with the sport, becoming a well-known figure and rival to his fellow Jamaican Usain Bolt. So what sets Yohan Blake apart from other runners? Well, it's obvious he has an outstanding work ethic. He not only switched sports from cricket to sprinting, but he trained at it and got to the point where he set a record. Not only that, but he got attention from a well-known expert in the sport and gained a new mentor. From there, he got to train with Usain Bolt and race with one of the greatest sprinters. Having the ability to train and race alongside the kind of talent made him a standout sprinter. Blake even beat his fellow Jamaican in different instances and events. How he trains also sets him up for success. In a video of one of Blake's training sessions, he shared some of his drills and techniques. He revealed that he doesn't work with fancy or top-level equipment, the simple things that make up his routine. The video also revealed that there are no secret techniques or ways to magically improve. There's just hard work and drills that improve little aspects that add up over time. The video showed him doing sled and hill sprints, plyometric exercises, and explosive bodyweight work. Some of it was messy, but the work that directly relates to sprinting was where Blake shined. His intense training shows that he's a serious athlete. Despite that, Bolt was still the top dog for a long time and gained the most praise for his sprinting capabilities. That brings us to another strength of Yohan Blake, the ability to perform under immense pressure. After making the connections he did, he had to represent his country on the world stage. Not only that, but he had to do it alongside Usain Bolt, who was becoming a household name. That also drew comparisons between the two athletes. That kind of pressure could get under someone's skin, but not Yohan Blake. He focused on his own goals and abilities, doing what he did best. That was what set him apart from other runners back then. It is what has continued to set him apart from sprinters over the past few years. Today, Yohan Blake is considered the second fastest man alive when it comes to short-distance events. He earned that title by dominating races and smashing records set before him. What are some of the athlete's most notable wins, achievements, and records? Well, he started young with his record for the fastest time in the 100 meters. He also became the youngest world champion in history for that event. He soon added to his list of accomplishments. In 2011, he participated in the IAAF World Championships, which took place in Daegu, Korea. He was running the 100-meter alongside Bolt for their home country. Many expected Bolt to take the race, but unexpected circumstances prevented that from happening. The star was disqualified from the final for a false start. With him out of the race, Blake took the gold medal home for their country with a time of 9.92 seconds. Many didn't view it as a huge achievement because Bolt was disqualified, but it's still worth noting. In doing that, he established himself as a top contender. Later that year, Blake ran the second fastest 200-meter of all time in Brussels. Not long after that, Yohan legitimately beat his training partner Bolt. He did it twice within a 48-hour time span at the Jamaican Olympic Trials. The 2012 event saw Blake outrun Bolt in the 100 meters and the 200 meters. Although he established himself as being on the same level as his teammate, Bolt dominated the events at the Olympic Games in London, holding on to the title he earned back in Beijing. Blake eventually reached a new personal best in the 100 meters, tying with U.S. runner Tyson Gay for the second fastest time at 9.69 seconds. He also holds the second fastest 200-meter time at 19.26 seconds. All these noteworthy wins and accomplishments prove that he's at the top of the game. What have other experts in the sport said about the second fastest man alive? The fastest man alive, Bolt, has had a lot to say about his teammate and rival. When Blake entered the world of sprinting and they had the same coach, Bolt took notice of the young athlete. When they began training together, the Jamaican superstar saw firsthand how strong of an athlete Blake was. When talking about his new rival, Yohan said that Blake worked even harder than he did. So much so that he said he works like a beast, which ended up giving the young athlete the idea for his nickname. Not long after that, he adopted it and became the Beast. He also acknowledged the praise he received from the star athlete. Yohan would continue to praise Blake's talent and determination. In later interviews, he would acknowledge that Blake worked harder than he did. But the fastest man alive also said that the training wouldn't help Blake beat him in their events. Despite acknowledging and respecting him, he still threw in a little bit of trash talk. That is natural among rivals though, and shows a level of acknowledgement on Bolt's part. What has the second fastest man in the sport said about himself? Back in 2012, he acknowledged the praise from his then competitor. He said that his work ethic truly made him a beast in the sport. Although he trained with Bolt and comparisons were drawn between the two athletes, Blake noted that he wasn't aiming to beat Bolt in their events. Instead, his goal was to pursue his own brilliance and set his own records. That year, he won 3 gold medals and was viewed as the only runner who could compete with Bolt. More recently, Blake reflected on his career and said he's more self-driven now. He's also shared how he appreciates more in life now. That kind of growth shows he's not just a good athlete, but a good person off the track too. So why do sprinters have to fear Yohan Blake? For one thing, his discipline is incredible when it comes to training and conditioning. That got him acknowledgement and praise from one of the greatest sprinters in the history of the sport. Although he's getting older and other countries are catching up to Jamaica, he's still a formidable runner. Blake still has his sights set on earning medals and running events as fast as he can. His growth over the course of his life and sprinting career also make him someone fans root for. He has all the qualities of a top-level runner. It's no wonder why his opponents are afraid to race against him. With all that said, these are the real reasons sprinters are scared of Yohan Blake.